May the Lord bless you. Looking at Psalm 20. It's brief and powerful, though. So I'll say a few words after Psalm 20. Some people have asked me about the S over my shoulder here. It's just a compass on the wall of our porch here. So there you go. And let's take a look at Psalm 20. Psalm 20. For the director of music, a psalm of David. May the Lord answer you in your day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and grant you support from Zion. May he remember all your offerings and accept your burnt sacrifices. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans. May we shout for joy over your victory and lift up our banners in the name of our God. May the Lord grant all your requests. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving power of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They are brought to their knees and fall, but we rise up and stand firm. O Lord, save the king. May he answer us when we call. So in Psalm 20, good King David prays a prayer of blessing over his people, Israel. And then he reminds them that it's the love and the saving power of God's right hand that is their ultimate security. And then I love this verse. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And nations and people back then and now, our tendency is to want to put all of our confidence in something we can see or something that's tangible, that's real, not an invisible God. And yet all of these tangible things, and we've seen it in nations throughout all of history, superpowers rise and fall, and often the most powerful nations go down hard and suddenly. And so military might isn't the measure of our security as a nation, or economic might. It can all come crumbling down quickly. Individually, it's nice to have some money in the bank or a retirement fund that's strong and all of those things, but our very breath and our life and everything is fragile in this world and can be taken away. And as wonderful as healthy relationships are as a means of happiness and an important factor in our happiness and security in this world, but that can be taken away, and ultimately from all of us it will, through death until the kingdom to come. And so finances, career success can be somehow undermined or taken away, our health. And so this is just a good reminder, again, to not put our trust in the horses and chariots. There was a superpower called Egypt that did that in the Old Testament, and when they were afraid they were losing these 2 million Hebrew slaves that God was delivering, they decided to chase them through the sea, and we know how that ended. They were destroyed, their whole army. And there's another account in the Old Testament in 2 Kings 19 where King Sennacherib of Assyria decided to attack King Hezekiah and Jerusalem. And they surrounded Jerusalem with 185,000 Assyrian troops. And Hezekiah the king couldn't face such an army. He didn't have an army like that. And so he fell on his face and cried out to God. And then the prophet Isaiah came and said to Hezekiah, "Don't be afraid, because God's going to deliver you." And that night, the scripture says, an angel of the Lord came and destroyed 185,000 Assyrian troops who stood ready to destroy Jerusalem. And King Sennacherib had to flee home to Nineveh without his army. And so God is capable of protecting nations, individuals, and for being their true unshakable source of stability and of wellness. And I think if we really grab hold of this and believe it, that it goes beyond just not freaking out. It goes to where we can have joy and peace in the midst of the crazy and be a source of blessing and light and hope to the people around us who are hurting. And there may be some dark storm clouds rolling in in this world, in this culture. And I really want to just say to everyone who believes in the Lord, who loves the Lord, this may be the most wonderful time to serve God by loving those around us who may be freaking out and may be afraid and alone and not know what to do. And so maybe give that some thought. And that's cause also for joy and thanksgiving. Even if bad stuff happens, God is with us, therefore we are okay. Whether our horses and chariots stand up and do what they're supposed to do or not, we'll be okay.